All right, tell me this. What is the root factor behind a person's success or failure? Is it their genes, their childhood, the way they were raised, their environment, or something else? Actually, it's none of these. The real root factor is the small choices they make every single day. In this entire world, there's only one thing that we can fully control, if we choose to, and that is our choices. And these very choices are what shape our future in every area of life. Think about it. After returning home from a tiring day at work, you have two clear options. You can either push yourself to go to the gym and invest in your health, or you can collapse onto the couch and binge-watch TV for hours. One choice leads to discipline and long-term well-being, the other to momentary comfort and possible regret. Similarly, in relationships, say you have an argument with your spouse. In that moment, you can choose to forget the ego, embrace compassion, and hug them to restore peace. Or you can choose silence, feed your pride, and allow distance to grow between you two. Every response is a choice. Every reaction is a reflection of your mindset. A success doesn't arrive overnight. It's built slowly, silently, through tiny decisions, made consistently, day after day. So if you truly want to change your life, don't wait for some grand transformation. Start by making better choices, because your future is hidden in what you decide to do right now. These small daily choices, they're not so small after all. In fact, they quietly shape everything about your future. Whether you live a healthy life or struggle with illness, whether you build a long-lasting, loving relationship or end up explaining to your child why you divorced their mother, it all traces back to the tiny choices you make every single day. But here's the catch. Most people don't pay attention to these small decisions. Let me explain with a simple example. Imagine I give you two options. Option 1. I give you $1 today, but it will double every day for the next 30 days. Option 2. I give you a flat $10 million right now. Which one would you choose? Most people, probably almost everyone, will immediately go for option 2. It seems obvious, right? Who wouldn't want 10 million right now? But let's say I take option 1, the $1 doubling plan. Now let's see what happens. After 5 days, I only have $16 and you have your massive $10 million. After 10 days, my total is 512 and you're still comfortably ahead with $10 million. At this point, you're probably thinking, what a fool, why didn't he just take the lump sum? But let's wait, because the real magic is about to happen. Now let's fast forward to day 31. You still have your flat $10 million, but me? I now have over $107 million. That's 10 times more than you, all because I chose the slow, seemingly smaller option that kept doubling. Success in life follows this exact same pattern. The person who makes small, wise choices every single day, even if they seem insignificant, ends up achieving overnight success after months or years of quiet consistency. To make this concept even clearer, let's take the example of 3 friends, Rajib, Sagar, and Akash. They all grew up in similar environments, live in the same neighborhood, and earn roughly the same income. For this story, let's assume all 3 are married and currently going through a bit of friction in their relationships. As the new month or year begins, Rajib continues to live exactly as he always has. He believes he's fine just the way he is. Rajib has a habit of pointing fingers, a bit of a perfectionist when it comes to others, always finding faults, never himself to blame. Just like before, he keeps complaining, keeps criticizing his wife, his job, his luck, his life. Now let's talk about Sagar, the second friend. He didn't make any big, dramatic changes, but he started introducing a few insignificant negative habits into his routine. The kind we often overlook, like eating junk food almost every day, skipping workouts, blaming it on job pressure, grabbing a bottle of cold drink on his way home from the office, a new daily ritual, stopping his evening walks just to catch up on his favorite TV shows, pulling away from professional networking, saying he just doesn't have the time, and worst of all, he stopped going out with his wife, citing busyness as an excuse. These small decisions didn't seem harmful at first, but over time, they began to quietly affect his health, his relationships, and his mindset. On the other hand, their third friend Akash took a completely different route. He created a daily checklist for himself and began making a few insignificant positive changes, tiny habits that looked ordinary, but had extraordinary potential over time. For example, reading just 10 pages of a good book every night before bed, watching a 30-minute motivational video during his commute or free time, cutting 125 calories from his daily diet, drinking 2 extra liters of water each day, walking 1 kilometer every morning, calling at least 2 to 3 people daily to strengthen his professional network, going out with his wife once a week, no matter how busy things got. These choices didn't make the headlines. No one even noticed at first, but something was shifting, slowly, silently, in the right direction. For the first 5 months, there wasn't much difference between the 3 friends. Even after 10 months, things looked pretty much the same. Akash started to feel a bit discouraged. He had been consistently sticking to his positive habits, but there were no visible results yet. Doubts crept in. Is this even working? But somehow he pushed through with sheer determination. Sagar, on the other hand, was enjoying life. He was doing less and relaxing more. No complaints, no regrets. Rajib also felt content, going through life the same way he always had. But then, around 25 months later, something shifted. By month 27, the differences became more noticeable. And by the 31st month, the contrast between their lives had grown massive. Rajib had become even more critical and negative about everything. He often felt bored, lost, and without a sense of purpose. Sagar had gained over 15 kilos from his regular junk food and lack of exercise. His health had deteriorated and illnesses started creeping in. His business began to decline, not suddenly, but because he had gradually disconnected from his network. Financially, things worsened, and with growing emotional distance from his wife, their relationship collapsed, reaching the point of divorce. In short, the tiny negative choices he made every day, without much thought, had now snowballed into a life full of regrets. Now let's talk about Akash. Over these 31 months, Akash read 50 books and watched 465 hours of motivational content, greatly expanding his knowledge and wisdom. By cutting just 125 calories a day and walking 1 mile daily, he lost 15 kilos and stayed as slim and handsome as ever. Just by drinking 2 extra liters of water daily, he consumed nearly 2,000 liters over the period, helping to flush out toxins and reduce internal health issues. By making just 2 relationship-building calls daily, he ended up making 1-800 meaningful connections, which helped grow his business and personal network. And those weekly dates with his wife, that turned into 124 joyful outings, strengthening their bond like never before. But wait, if success is really this simple, and we already know the formula, why do so few of us actually follow through? It's because we fall into 4 deadly traps. 1. The invisible consequence trap. Imagine if eating just 1 burger made you gain 15 kilos overnight, or if smoking 1 cigarette gave you throat cancer the next morning. Would you ever dare do those things again? But real life doesn't work that way. At first, your choices seem to have no visible impact, but after months or even years, the consequences suddenly hit you. And by then, it's often too late to undo the damage. To escape this trap, you must always remember, every small choice sparks a butterfly effect. That tiny action today creates a huge impact in your future. 2. The 1 degree trap. If a plane flying to New York goes just 1 degree off course, it won't land in New York. It'll end up 150 miles away on some random island. Now imagine if you go just 1 degree off in your life. Where will you end up in 10 or 15 years? That's why having a guide is essential, like a daily checklist. It's your personal compass, helping you stay on track. And even if you drift off course for a while, that checklist helps you find your way back. 3. The instant gratification trap. Let's say after dinner, you're faced with 2 options, a glass of water or a delicious hot chocolate cake. You choose water. Your friend chooses cake and devours it in front of you, enjoying every bite. Meanwhile, you're sipping tasteless water, feeling deprived. That's the trap. If you look at it in the short term, making a good choice often gives you nothing in return, while a bad choice gives you pleasure and instant joy. But the truth is, short-term pleasure creates long-term pain, and short-term pain creates long-term joy. In life, you must go through one kind of pain. There's no escape. And there are only 2 types, the pain of discipline or the pain of regret. The pain of discipline weighs only a few grams, and lasts just a short while. But the pain of regret? It weighs tons and can last a lifetime. The choice is yours. 4. The discipline dilemma. Following a checklist, drinking 2 extra bottles of water, walking just 1 mile a day. These things are simple, but not necessarily easy, because no one likes to feel restricted or tied to rules. And here's the truth, whether you're successful or unsuccessful, nobody likes choosing the better option. No one enjoys sipping tasteless water while others indulge in hot chocolate cake. But successful people still do it anyway, not because they love it, but because they harness their willpower, or more importantly, their why power. Like Muhammad Ali once said, "I hated every minute of training, but I said don't quit. Suffer now and live the rest of your life as a champion." Everyone wants success, but very few are willing to go through the pain that success demands. To escape this final trap, you need to find your why, the deeper reason you must keep going. Because the stronger your why, the stronger you become. Now the question is, what will you choose? If this message spoke to your soul and gave you something to think about, like the video, subscribe to Oceanic Mind, and leave a comment below sharing your why. Let's grow together, one choice at a time.